Alright, dogs by nature, welcome back to Rufios Film Room. Today we're going to be taking a look at the running game versus the San Diego Chargers. I thought this game was very well schemed for us in terms of the run. I talked a little bit about in the last post that you're always going to have sort of unblocked counterparts on the defense for the quarterback and the running back in the running game. It's 11 on 11. Typically in the NFL, the quarterback is not involved in any sort of read option, so he's going to have a counterpart that is not going to be blocked. The running back always, ball carrier always has a counterpart on the defense who, the offense doesn't get a 12th guy to go block for the running back, so you always have that guy unaccounted for. Now, different running games, different styles of team are going to take care of those sort of unblocked guys in different ways. Uh, Most of the time, NFL defenses want to pass often enough to keep the second safety out of the box. And there's your two guys. Then if you got two safeties this deep, you can hand the ball off and probably meet them halfway. You get a good 5 yards before that unblocked player can get to your running back. On this play here, we are going to see us try to have that happen. Try to scheme players unblocked on this run by pulling linemen, moving the point of attack, and running the ball away from those unblocked players. So this is going to be sort of a toss play here. We can see that toss happening, and we're going to actually pull two linemen. This is going to be Thomas and Greco. We're going to pull them around our two tight ends to that side. And now you'll notice as I roll this forward, we are seeing a 8 in the box situation here from the Chargers. We are not going to block this man, this end man on the line of scrimmage, and we're going to try to get everybody sort of this way of him blocked, especially on the play side, on the front side of this play. We're going to try and get all these guys blocked, leave him unblocked on the back side of the play, and if it goes the way that we've schemed it, Trent Richardson is running away from this guy, and he can't catch him. He can't, we create a seam or something for Richardson. We block up all the guys on the front side, leave this guy unblocked, and he's chasing all the way to the end zone. Now, as I roll this forward slightly, we're going to see Sean LaBelle with no one to block. And that's a miscommunication I'm going to point out later. So, unfortunately, that means we're going to have an unblocked guy or two on the play side of this run. LaBelle is supposed to get this guy here. He doesn't get him. As I roll this forward, we're going to see, I believe that's Greco. Thomas kicks out. Greco has to then block that linebacker that LaBelle should have been responsible for. Now, thankfully for us, we have a guy named Trent Richardson, and he is able to, despite Greco having the outside leverage on this player here, cut back up the middle and make basically both of these guys who should have been in their correct gaps wrong. We have that other guy also, another guy here that Schwartz was trying to cut block. He didn't get him to the ground, and Richardson is able to sort of turn him up the field before he's contacted and make a nice 8 yards. So, I really do think that as I roll this back, if between LaBelle and Mack, if they can block this linebacker, that would free up Greco to come get this, I believe that's a safety up there. Richardson is unblocked all the way up to this guy right here. And then he's one-on-one with them in space. This play has a good chance to score, in my opinion, if we can get it blocked up correctly. And so we're going to look at that now from the end zone angle. We're going to see what's called a bubble in the formation between this lineman and this lineman here, meaning there's a gap between our linemen and there's no San Diego player in it. We also can see that as I roll this forward, LaBelle, if he leaks up to the second level, he's got no one in here to block. We also sort of have a gap in San Diego's formation at the linebackers. So in this play, ideally, we'd have LaBelle and Mack double teaming this defensive tackle here, and then one of them leaking up to this linebacker. Now, this linebacker may flow play side this way, He may sort of be on a cross stunt with this lineman. But if we get both of our guys, both of our linemen on this guy, we can sort of read the actions of both the linebacker and this lineman, and we can sort out one guy blocks one, the other guy blocks the other. As it happens, as I roll it forward a little bit, you're going to see Mac almost think he's going straight without even touching that guy up to the second level. This guy sort of already has Mac out leveraged to the left here, and Mac's going to have to make an athletic play, get in front of him, and maybe even cut him to the ground to be able to make that play if that linebacker flows strong to the play side. So Mac, right off the bat, is just trying to, basically stick a hand in there on this defensive tackle, let Laval take him over. Mac's coming up to get this guy. And we can see that Mac clearly does not expect that to happen there. You can also see from this angle, we're leaving this end man on the line of scrimmage unblocked, and we're trying to pitch it away from him, let Richardson, just run away from him, basically. This is the counterpart to Richardson, and we're not going to block him. We're going to try and leave that unblocked guy in an area where he can't make a play. Now Richardson making a nice cutback, finishing the run strong, and this sort of good scheme is why we can make plays happen in the running game if we do it correctly, even against a +1 box. It's not always the amount of total guys in the box, it's can those guys make the play. And this guy right here, he can't. So as long as we block everybody else, we move the point of attack away from that guy that we can't account for, we can have a successful running game. Okay, so here we go again. This is going to be another toss play. This is out of different formation this time. This time we have a trips bunch formation up here to the top. I believe there's one tight end in the game. I believe this is Watson up here at the sort of tip of that triangle. Then we have Cribbs and Little. I love this play. I love that this is inexpensive for us, and I mean that in the sense of practice time. We already saw us run this concept from a 2 tight end set. The line, it's one blocking scheme from the line. It's one blocking scheme from Watson. They have to know what's going on there. It's the same play. It's from a different formation. So we're able to present a different look to San Diego. We're able to see, what personnel they respond to in terms of do they match up with our wide receivers. We have 2 wideouts up here. Do they put 2 corners out here, or are they subbing in a linebacker to play, in their base defense? So if they do, then we can hurry up on the next play and maybe catch them in a situation where we have a mismatch in the passing game. But in any event, we can use multiple formations to our advantage if we keep things simple in terms of the play call. And if you can run one play from every formation that you have, I think that's a good thing for an offense. So you can present a multitude of looks to the defense without really being different. And we see this time Richardson is unblocked all the way up to that single high safety. Okay? Again, it's a single high safety look. The Chargers are stacking the box. They have 8 in the box, 9 if you count this corner up here. But it gives us a chance to put this personnel, this formation in the game, see how San Diego is going to respond, use a play that's inexpensive in terms of practice time for us and sort of brain space for us, be able to execute the same scheme on this run as we did in the previous run from a different look. And we see it work beautifully here. He is untouched. We got a first down, that's great, but Richardson's untouched. He gets about 12 yards. Okay, so we're going to see it here. Nice sort of pin down by Watson here. We're going to see Cribbs bump this guy and move on to the second. Let the lineman come get that initial guy. We see a seal here, and that's a lot of daylight in there for 33. Okay, it's another first down, another toss sweep. I think there are a couple things that are notable about this play. First, again, just like this second run I showed, this is the same concept, it's the same play, it's a different personnel, it's a different formation. It's a great way to see how the defense is going to respond to this, be able to attack it, keep things the same for our guys, but make it look different to the defense. Second thing, we are again scheming this intelligently. We have the entire front side of this run blocked up if everyone does their job, and even one of these two guys down here potentially. The guy that we were leaving unblocked, the guy that we were scheming away from, is this outside linebacker right up here. Now you'll notice again, single high safety. Chargers are stacking the box. This is a smart way to keep with the run, not block this man up here, and give us the ability to run away from him and leave him, even though we can't account for him, even though we can't block him, we're going to take him out of the play. Okay, so we see as we roll this forward, Little is in motion. He's going to block an outside linebacker. That's a tough task for any wide receiver. People ask, why do we like all these big wide receivers that are physical? This is one of the reasons. We're pulling linemen to the front side. We're getting Trent. Now, this guy right here is Alex Smith's man. If he does his job, he's not in the equation. We're getting Richardson. We're scheming Richardson unblocked up to these two players right here. And those two guys, if you'll notice, are these two coverage defenders. The deep middle of the field safety, who's going to act as the counterpart to the running back in the running game. Remember, we only got 10 guys who can block, so we can't block all 11. This is that 11th guy. And then the other unblocked guy on this side of the formation is this corner, who anytime we can get a 190-pound corner up against Trent Richardson, I think that's great. And if you'll notice, Gordon and Mack are blocking the same guy in this play. If Gordon can come off, he can block one of these two guys down here. But in any event, we scheme this run so Trent goes untouched for 4 or 5 yards. It's really all we need. We could get more, but he's able to fall forward, finish this run tough, and get a solid 6 or 8. You can see it from the end zone angle here. We're going to see Laval sort of miss his block. It's a little technique issue that, it's frustrating that he makes these kind of mistakes. Thankfully, it didn't. He got enough of this guy to not have it affect the play. We're also going to see the reason Alex Smith hasn't been a fullback his entire career. He's going to do a nice job of meeting this linebacker with the correct leverage. Okay, Smith wants to turn him back inside. He's on the right side. He's attacking what's called half a man, the right half of the man here. But he collisions him, shoves him away, and doesn't sustain that block. If he can sustain that block, we got a seal here, we got a seal there, and Richardson is up in the secondary. Instead, Trent has to make a little move away from that linebacker, tuck the ball, and he's not able to try and run over this corner at full force. Okay, it's that linebacker. They get 2 guys on Trent. Now, something else that's interesting to watch in this play. We have Benjamin Watson on the backside of this play. We have Whedon is going to bootleg. The man that we don't block is also the man that is responsible for Whedon in the bootleg action. And we're going to see him just hesitate enough after the pitch right here that Whedon is able to hold him on the backside. Okay, so I talked about the counterpart for the running back that we cannot block. We have 10 other guys besides the ball carrier on this play. Whedon is one of them. I'd say we probably don't want Whedon blocking anyone. That means we got 9 blockers to work with. Defense has 2 free guys. That is 1 and 2. Okay, and so we're leaving him. Nothing we could do about him. We're trying to hold him with Whedon's bootleg. And this is the way a lot of NFL defenses run it. I'm going to show you again on the All-22 because I think it's a little clearer. After Whedon pitches that, this linebacker right here that we don't have blocked is going to hesitate just enough. Oh, who has the ball? That he is not able to chase this play down from the backside. Okay, and we do have the threat of a pass up here. So our sort of play action off of this, 82 Watson will sort of chip on this down lineman, then leak out somewhere over here for a pass. And this time he sustains his block, and that linebacker is able to sort of stay with the play. So, some college offenses, you could do this as a sort of a read option. You read that backside guy. The quarterback has this space to run into. NFL offenses, it's going to be more of a play action. So you either have this toss or you fake the toss and then you throw it over here. And you can see all that space to the side of the play. So that's how we're going to count for these two sort of unblockable guys in the running game. The 11th guy, who's a counterpart to the running back, and we have another untouched guy that we're going to choose who he is, who is the counterpart of the quarterback. That's the way that we can run the ball intelligently, even when other teams stack the box from time to time.